Hi everybody, this is Joe from PrepAgent. You gotta know your vocabulary. There's no way around it. Every morning you should be memorizing 5 words. Set them aside the night before. When you wake up, have at it while you're still fresh. Memorize those words before the day gets ahead of you with work, kids, exercise, whatever other obligations you have. Learn those vocabulary words and you will do much better on the real estate exam. Honestly, there's no point in doing practice questions until you've learned that vocabulary. It's the foundation for everything. Some may say this is even a glorified vocabulary quiz. I don't know if I'm going to go that far, but you get the point. So as a way to help you, we've put together a video just going over key vocabulary. So I hope you enjoy it. And remember, keep things concise and keep it simple. Marginal tax rate. Percentage of the tax applies to your income for each tax bracket in which you qualify. In essence, the tax taken for your next dollar. For taxable above a predefined income threshold, it is applied to the next dollar of taxable income earned. Value. The current worth of owning a particular property or what someone would pay for it in a fair transaction. Its original cost has no relevance to its value. Exclusive agency listing. An employment contract where the seller agrees to pay a broker commission for any agent broker finds a buyer. But if the owner sells it themselves, the broker gets no commission. Sherman Anti-Trust Act. Federal law that promotes free market competition by prohibiting any contract, trust, or conspiracy in restraint of interstate or foreign trade. Joint tenancy. Concurrent ownership with unities of time, title, interest, and possession. Has right of survivorship, meaning if one joint tenant dies, the surviving joint tenants take the remaining interest. Grant deed. A deed includes 2 implied warranties. The grantee has not already given the title to another person, and the estate has no undisclosed encumbrances. It is not necessary to record the deed. Grant deeds are considered officially executed when signed by the grantor. Subordination Clause. A clause in agreement which states that another agreement will take priority over it. Allows a mortgage to be added at a later date which will take priority over an existing mortgage, such as when an owner refinances a piece of property that is already a second mortgage, and the refinancing lender requires the second mortgage provide to add a subordination clause which gives the refinancing loan priority over the second mortgage. Subordination is the act of yielding priority. Multifamily residential. An R3 zone is for multifamily residential use. Protection period clause, also known as a safety clause. Clause which protects the listing broker's commission if the owner sells to a buyer procured by the broker, even after the listing agreement is ended. The name of the potential buyer should be documented in writing at the end of the listing period. This is not a time to find a new buyer. Interest. Amount charged to a borrower for the privilege of using the lender's money. It is effectively rent on money. Usury. The practice of charging more than the rate of interest allowed by law. Contingencies. A provision or condition in the purchase of real estate requiring a certain act to be done or an event to happen before the contract becomes binding. Reconveyance Deed. A deed which indicates that the borrower is released from a mortgage debt and transfers the property title from the lender or beneficiary to the borrower, most commonly issued when a mortgage has been paid in full. Exclusive listing. Employment agreement in which the specified agent earns a commission if a property is sold within a specified time frame. The specified agent will generally earn a commission even if another licensee finds a buyer. If 2 exclusive listings are signed, the seller may have to pay 2 commissions. Easement in gross. Easement which attaches to an individual, person, or entity. There is no dominant tenement. For example, the power company's right to access utility lines. Graduated payment adjustable mortgage. Allows for deferment of certain principal payments. Typically, this means that the payments on loan start at a lower monthly payment and increase over a specified time frame. Earnest money deposit. Deposit made to a seller representing a buyer's intention to purchase a home in good faith. An earnest money deposit says to the seller, yes, I'm serious about buying your house. I'm willing to put my money where my mouth is. It could be cash, a promissory note, checks, a postage check, or any items of value. Net listing. Employment contract in which the seller pays the listing broker all purchase price proceeds over and above and beyond a minimum figure required by the seller. For example, Joe wants $100,000 for his house. If the broker finds a buyer for $120,000, he gets $20,000 in commission. If he finds a buyer for $102,000, then he gets $2,000. This is legal in some states, but not in most. Life estate, pure Autrie v. An interest in real property that lasts the length of someone's life who is not the life tenant. It is a type of freehold estate because it is indefinite in duration. When the measuring of life ends, title reverts to the original owner or a remainderman. Police power. The government's right to regulate conduct or property to protect the health, safety, welfare, and morals of the community. Includes regulations like zoning laws. Statute of Frauds. Statute that explains what contracts needs to be in writing to be enforceable. Normally, any contract that is not performed within 1 year must be in writing. For example, any contract that leases real property for more than a year must be put in writing.